You are listening to the Novel Writing Podcast, episode 58. Grab a cup, cozy up, and let's get to writing. Today's episode is the 54th of 60 daily episodes that pair with the videos of Haley's 60-day novel writing challenge. You can watch the first 5 days of the challenge for free on Haley's YouTube channel, and the link to that is in the description. Day 54 of the challenge is about creating book titles. Titles are finicky. The title you start out with, like your working title, might grow on you enough to use for the final title, but sometimes it won't. As you go through multiple drafts, the final title could change because the story ends up outgrowing the working title. You might find that the title you like, which might even be your favorite one when you finally do go through the process to choose your title, you might find that that title doesn't resonate with readers when you pull them. That's actually what happened when I wrote my first book. The title is Mark of Stars, and that's because it won a poll in my writing group. That name, or that title, far outperformed any of the other options, including the working title that I had for a long time. If you're writing a series, you'll want to consider how all the titles in your series will work together, how they'll all look when they're next to each other on the shelf. Do you want to be consistent, follow patterns? Or would you be okay with each title not fitting any particular mold, as long as it describes what the book's about and as long as it fits? Knowing what you want before you title your whole series will help down the line when you're trying to come up with the titles for the next installment. For my series, once I nailed down Mark of Stars, I actually had 2 of the last 3 titles already chosen. The only one I had trouble with was Book 2, and I didn't choose that title until I finished developmental edits and was working on the first big rewrite. Once I had chosen that title, I had the first 2 installments in a pattern. And a quick side note here is that I ended up not having any kind of a working title for Book 2. I just called it The Chronicles of Talam, Book 2, whenever I was writing it. Okay, back to my title patterns. Book 1 is Mark of Stars, 3 short words with an of in the middle. Book 2 is The Prophet's Ruin. Again, 3 short words, but the phrase begins with the. That meant I could keep the pattern of my last 2 books in the main series of Talam, which are Book 3, spoiler alert, Tides of Fate, again 3 short words with an of in the middle, and Book 4, The Last Horizon, 3 short words again, beginning with the. Now I can picture all 4 titles on the shelf together with their spines all nicely aligned, and all 4 titles fit with the overarching theme of the series. If you're struggling to come up with book title generators are a great place to start. I'd never recommend using something that a generator spits out without tweaking it first, especially since many people use those generators for ideas, but use them for inspiration. The other thing to consider is what's selling on Amazon. In my mind, standing out on Amazon might mean not doing what the bestsellers are doing, especially in YA fantasy. The titles are all kind of predictable, and the covers to me all look way too similar. By far, the most compliments I've gotten on my book from people who see it at craft fairs and shows is that the cover design drew them in, and my covers don't follow the trends of Amazon. So don't be afraid to try something different. The only way we end up with new trends is if someone breaks the mold. That's it for this companion episode to creating book titles. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you tomorrow for day 55. Thanks for listening to the Novel Writing Podcast. If you're ready to stop struggling and start finishing your novel, check out the 60-Day Novel Writing Challenge. It's a step-by-step program designed for solo writers to complete their first draft with clarity and focus. Visit the link in the description to learn more.